if I sound good or if you can even hear me. So let me know. We'll just chill for a second, see if anyone else shows up, and then we'll talk about one of the greatest bands ever, Selena Gomez on the scene. I'm only half joking with that. I actually, I really like Selena Gomez. And the scene was an interesting part of her career because I think it was a lot better than people give it credit for. I definitely think it kind of got discounted because it was Disney, of course, but I think there was some legitimate, like, I don't know, that early 2000s, like, pop punk inspired vibe that they just really, really leaned into. It did a good job, in my opinion. Hi, feel free to jump in. We're just seeing who else wants to chat about Selena Gomez and how incredible she is, and then we'll get started. There's no like agenda. We just talk about whatever. How am I doing? How was my week? Hi, by the way. I've been so busy. I've been doing like my normal job and like so much freelancing, which is great because like I've been making money, but it's been so stressful. Like I haven't done anything besides work this week, but it's going well. How was your week? How was your week to everyone else who's watching? I have all my copies of the records. My my sweater. It's like a blue velvet thing. I feel like that helps me shine. Okay, nothing exciting. Sometimes it's good though, I think. Sometimes it's nice to just have a calm week. Yeah, normally I'm a lot more stressed, but like I've honestly really missed doing these. So yeah, I guess I'm just in general excited. And of course talking about Selena Gomez, like, I'm excited to do that as well. So did you and everyone else who's watching, did y'all listen to the albums? Yeah, I have all three, so I had to bring them over here to show y'all. I only have a sleeve for one of them because I just have to go to the store and get more. But I do really like these, and they're all so pretty. You did your homework. I did I did my homework too. Um, we never talked about the Tuvlo. Is that how you pronounce it? I still don't know. We never talked about her music. Which album? I can't remember what it was called, but I actually still listen to Sunshine Kitty. I still listen to that album um, once in a while. I really like some of the songs on that one. So yeah, but I did listen to this. I actually think so. What do you think of Selena Gomez and the scene? Because I think that I think that they're good. And I think it's kind of weird that at the time they didn't get like much recognition. I don't know if you grew up watching like Disney Channel, and I know you're in a different country, so like maybe I don't know, maybe you had a different Disney Channel. Because when I was in India visiting family, I actually remember seeing like the different Disney Channel and being so fascinated by it. But regardless, I don't know if you grew up watching media where the ads for this music popped up because I really remember the music video for Naturally. Was that the Spy one? Do you remember what I'm talking about? The Spy music video? Because I thought or Round and Round, is that what it was? It wasn't Naturally. I did my homework, but not that much, I guess. But I thought she was so cool. I love that she had a band. I thought that was so cool. Um, I think I read something about how the or why the reason she picked a band, and I think it had something to do with the fact that she just didn't feel ready to go on by herself as a musician, like, she really wanted to be in a band, which I think is cool because that's probably how I would have wanted to be if I had been in that situation. But I wonder why she, like, even felt like she needed to start a band in the first place, like, was that a Disney thing? She was kinda unique in that sense that she wanted a band, 100%. Like, I don't think like, other people might have had a backing band, but I don't think anyone besides her, at least from that era of Disney, like, did the same thing. Because it was, like, her, Miley, Demi, but I mean, like and Selena, like, you're saying she's not as confident. I totally agree, and I think part of that is, like, she's not I don't mean this as, like, an insult, but like she just has never been as vocally strong as some of these other people. So maybe she just, wanted a little bit different of an experience. And she was young. I was looking at the music videos and I was realizing how young she looked in them. Because at the time I'm like I think her exact same age in terms of the year. So uh hi. But at the time I was like, oh, she's so grown up. But looking back, she was really young in 2009, which is when I think like the midpoint of Selena Gomez and the scene's existence. At that point, she would have been like 16 or 17. How involved could she have been when it comes to albums, image, etc.? Yeah, I wonder. I think that she said that she's the one that pushed for her to have a band, but I don't know how involved she was. And I don't think the band was like that involved in the songwriting process as well. So I don't know. I just think it's an interesting, like, she really seemed to want to have a band. I miss Selena Gomez in the scene days. I couldn't get into her Rare album. I like some of the songs on Rare, but in terms of like an overall album, every Selena Gomez in the Scene album is much better for me than her solo stuff. Rare is just kind of like inconsequential to me. Yeah, I think it could have been anyone's album. I agree with that. Like it just didn't, I don't know. Hey, but I can't believe it's been a week since the last live stream. Time flies by so quickly. I'm so relieved Trump isn't president anymore. Yeah, a lot has happened this week, hasn't it? But we're in a hopefully better time. Definitely, definitely really relieved right now. So I'm sure you as well. After having such a hard year and so much going on, releasing such a bland album is disappointing. In regards to Rare, it is kind of disappointing because I did like the songs from it, like the two singles, but I just felt like the rest of the album I just didn't care about that much. But her work with the scene was, I think, so good. And it just has like it's like weirdly like early 2000s post-punk inspired, like that Jimmy Eat World kind of vibe, and also like very Warped Tour in many ways. I feel like she had a really interesting set of influences, and I kind of love it because that was the kind of stuff I liked at the time. So it feels um, more relatable. Do you guys want to see the records? Because if you haven't listened, you can at least see how beautiful these records are. So, crap, I can't remember the order. I think this one was the first one. So this is Kiss and Tell, which is a really good song in general. Like if you listen to one of the songs on here, Kiss and Tell is a really good one. I always was thrown off by like the heart on the lips, but like I don't know. It's very like late 2000s. It's very fun. I love it. And then the record itself I think is really pretty. Um it's like this really pretty like marbled whites and pink. I really like it. It's not too much, but I think it's gorgeous. I like this one a lot. They're all really good. But there's that one. Bought it mostly because of the color. I bought it to like complete my collection. I didn't know which one I wanted, so okay. I'm really tempted by the pink version of Joanne that's listed at Urban Outfitters right now. But I don't know. It doesn't want to go in the sleeve. Hold on. When sometimes at the top of the sleeve it's like folded over and it makes it really hard to put a record back in? That's what's happening. There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna get Joanne. I almost said Diane and Joanne. I wish Lana did an exciting vinyl like that. I agree. I think last week I said that I got the CD box set, even though like it is kind of a silly thing. Like, it definitely isn't worth what I spent on it, but I don't know. I just like was so scared of missing out on it that I got it, and I got the Urban Outfitters exclusive color for Lana's Chemtrails Over the Country Club. Oh no. I know how you feel about the cover, so we don't have to talk about it. But I am excited for the music. We'll say that. Okay, so then this is When the Sun Goes Down, which is, I think, their best one, but I think all of them are pretty good. This is the one Love You Like a Love Song is on. Hit the Lights is on here. I like that one as well. Um, I really like Hit the Lights, actually. I was listening to that. Yeah, this is their final one, right? This one's really pretty. It's kind of similar. No, it's not really, actually. But it's very, I don't know what to call this pattern. I was gonna say similar in terms of color, but I wouldn't even say that. This is a little bit more purpley. It's kind of like a geode or something. Like, it's really interesting. I don't think I have anything that's splatter vinyl quite like this. And it sounds really good. I think it's quite like heavy enough. So this is a really pretty pressing. If they have it available, like, I recommend it. Like, even just to frame it. I frame some of my records sometimes. So very rarely, but sometimes I have framed records. And then this we did this in a weird order, but A Year Without Rain is the second album, right? So this is blue themed, so you can probably guess what the vinyl itself looks like. It's actually a little bit different than I expected because it has a transparent quality to it. I don't know if you can quite tell, like you can see my hand waving behind it, but I think it's really pretty. I don't know. I like this one maybe the least out of the three, but I still think it's pretty. So those are all of them. This one has songs like Round and Round, which I think is the spy themed music video that I'm thinking of. A Year Without Rain. I know a lot of people were listening to that on TikTok, or at least it kept coming up on my TikTok For You page. Um, Intuition's an interesting song. I didn't expect it when I listened to that album again. I was like, okay, this is interesting production. That album's a lot more like electro pop than the others. I'm not too sure if I like the splatter best as it is or like they advertise. I don't even remember how they advertised. There's so many Urban Outfitters vinyl records I've gotten lately that are just not the way that they are advertised. And sometimes I'm okay with it, sometimes it's annoying. Do I remember when Selena had her own perfume? I don't. What was it called? Because I remember so many like celebrity like I was thinking about Jessica Simpson's dessert. What was it called? Her dessert skincare line that was allegedly edible that you could eat, but I don't think you could eat it. But that's how it was advertised. What was her perfume called? I'm gonna look it up. I'm sure when I see the name I'll remember it. Oh, I don't remember it. It is kind of a pretty bottle though. You can still buy it at Walmart. It's I don't know. Her makeup's actually really good. If any of you care about makeup at all, I have a bunch of it and it's really high quality, I think, and I like it. So good for her. Selena Gomez is someone that I have always kind of liked, but I've always rooted for, even when I wasn't really into what she was creating. This is what the bottle looks like. Can you see? I don't know if this is, I can't see because I can't switch the camera around, but like, it's like a little bottle. It looks like a little face almost, like little flowers coming out of the top. Jessica Simpson perfume is so amazing. Gosh, I I've been really nostalgic for the early 2000s lately. Like I literally bought I tried to buy an entire, like, Juicy Couture, like, sweatsuit, but they weren't available, so I just got the pants. But I have literally wanted one for, like, 20 years, so I'm really excited. But I don't know, I've just been really nostalgic lately, and listening to these albums doesn't really help fix the nostalgia, it just makes me more nostalgic for, like, high school. Because I was in high school during this era, the Selena Gomez and the Scene era, and I was, like, I guess, maybe too old to be watching Disney Channel, but I did anyways. These are more of the late 2000s. Yeah, the 2000s, I don't know. It was just an interesting time for culture. Like, the weirdest fashions. You're never too old for Disney Channel, that's probably true. Whenever I, like, babysit, I, um, I, like, enjoy watching Disney Channel with the kids all the time. Hillary did remember Stuff by Hilary Duff? Do you guys remember that? Stuff by Hilary Duff. I don't even remember what it was, but I remember that it was a, fashion brand. Did I like Wizards? Yes, I did like Wizards of Waverly Place. Um, yeah, it just makes me laugh because I watched, like, up until the end, and then my friend Antonia and I went to New York City for New Year's Eve a couple years ago, and, we saw Waverly Place, and we were, like, drunk at, like, 2 in the morning, and she just, like, gasps and, like, freezes in the middle of the road, and she goes, "Wizards!" And she points to the Waverly Place sign, and that's what it makes me think of. It makes me very happy. But, yeah, there is a Waverly Place. Stuff by Hilary Duff. Ugh, okay, so you have to I do have Disney Plus. Look at this logo, you guys. Let me see. Hi. Look at this Stuff by Hilary Duff logo. That is very 2000s. I wanted it so bad, and then Miley Cyrus had this line of stuff at Walmart. I wanted it so bad, never got anything from it. My mom was always like, "You really don't need it." And I was like, "But I do, and I'll still want it in 10 years." It would have been right. Email My Heart, but that's such a great song. I just love that it's called that. Like, it is I don't even care what the song is. It's just iconic already. Her TV brother from the series, her older brother had a kid. I think I follow him on TikTok. Hilary Duff's last album was really good. What was her latest album? Have I Sometimes when I hear about people that I, like, used to listen to, I wonder if I have missed an album. I love how her second album was her greatest hits album. I think about that all the time because that is iconic, fully iconic. I would say that Britney is an icon. It is. I like Selena, but I don't think she's quite at that exact same iconic status. I think that's fair. Hilary Duff's middle name is Erhard. I didn't know that before. I've always liked her. I think Selena could be, but, like, I don't know, they're just in I think they existed in very different worlds, and, it's she's absolutely iconic, but, they exist in very different spaces, so I don't think they're quite comparable. Stuff by Hilary Duff, oh, so cool. I just got distracted by the Wikipedia page for it. Ugh, I wish it was still around. Juicy Couture is back, so why can't this be back? What was I looking up Hilary Duff's latest album? That's where we were at. Breathe In, Breathe Out. You know what? I haven't listened to this fully. I listened to some of the songs. I've listened to Chasing the Sun and Sparks. But you know what? I haven't actually listened to this entire album, and now I'm feeling like I need to. Because I cannot even tell you how many times I listened to Metamorphosis. I That is such a good album. Remember the song The Math? I I remember I listened to those lyrics recently. I sang them to my boyfriend, and he used to teach math, and he was like, "This song is dumb." I'm like, "No, it's iconic, actually." You didn't like Metamorphosis? That's honestly fair, but I, was 11 when I first listened to it, and it was absolutely everything I needed. It was great. I wonder why they never interview the other members of Selena Gomez and the scene. I'm not really sure. I did do a little bit of research, like, over the weeks into the band, and although they did actually play the instruments and stuff, like, they were in the band, they weren't just, like, posing, they weren't I don't know, it was a very unique band situation, I don't really fully understand it, I guess. We did talk about Rare, I think the consensus was somewhat not negative, but neutral at best. Rare's not like a bad album, but it just like didn't I don't know, it like didn't excite me. So that was my opinion. Hilary Duff wrote books. Wait, this is unlocking a memory. Oh my gosh, did you guys ever read the Mary Kate and Ashley books? I read so many Mary Kate and Ashley mystery books back in the day. Ugh, so many. What was what was her book called? I feel like I remember this. Like, that sounds familiar to me. I don't think I read them actually now that I'm looking at them, but they sound familiar. A lot of people at the time wrote books, like a lot of I feel like a lot of celebrities in her little sort of group of celebrities, Hilary Duff, wrote books, but I can't really remember. Did Lauren Conrad write a book? I think she did. But yeah, there were a lot of this specific era just unlocked a lot of memories. I had so many other, VHS. I remember they had a cruise for their fans. I wanted to go on those cruises, like the Disney cruise or whatever, so bad. It was like, I'm gonna get discovered and be a famous Disney Channel kid if I go on one of these. I like begged my mom, and she was always like, "No, that's ridiculous. Cruises are bad for the environment." So never went on a cruise. Barely know anything about Hillary. She wasn't very present in our TV. That's interesting because she was like really growing up in the States. She was kind of it felt like everywhere. Like I felt like I Hillary Duff was like the pop star, and when she and Lindsay Lohan had all of that drama because they were both fighting over Aaron Carter of all people. I remember it because it was always on the cover of like Tiger Beat or like J14 or those magazines. I don't know if they ever made it across like to other countries, those magazines. I'm sure you had your own version, but um I remember like when my mom was grocery shopping, I would always go to the magazine section and just like read Tiger Beat. and, and the Jonas Brothers, that was a big one as well, though that was a little later, but Mary Kate and Ashley were the 2000s Blueprint. I had their JCPenney line, Olsen Boy backpack. I didn't have any other like clothes and accessories, but what I did have for the Olsen twins was a lot of the books. Like I said, I had a hair curler, and which I wish I still had it because it was iconic. And I also had a Game Boy game where you were like driving on errands to prove to your parents that you were responsible enough to like get a car. That was the game. It was fun. I wonder if I still have it. But those are the Mary Kate and Ashley things. Lindsay Lohan's music is also really good, and I think a lot better than she got credit for. At least like her earlier stuff, in my opinion. But I don't know what Lindsay's up to, but I did really like her at the time as well. But Disney Channel eras in general, like I feel like there's different like sections of like Disney Channel, and I think Selena Gomez, like on her era of Disney Channel, she's definitely one of the most iconic. Lindsay's first album is better than Ashley's. Hmm. Yeah, it's a close for me, like of my personal taste. I love them both, so it's hard for me to decide. I miss Tiger Beat, Twist magazine, J14, um, Mrs. Magazine. I don't think they have them anymore. I think they like exist in source code. I saw a TikTok of like someone who's like a preteen now being like, there are these magazines and stores, and they have free posters, um, of celebrities that you can put up in your wall, and everyone's like, "You're just discovering," like, you're discovering J14 and all of these magazines. So, I think they still make a version of them at least. But yeah, Mary Kate and Ashley had a Game Boy game. It was Learning to Drive. It was I don't remember what it was called, but I was, so obsessed with it. I wanted to be Mary Kate and Ashley so bad. I loved all of their movies. So good. Game Boy. What was it called? Licensed to Drive. That was the one, I think. They had a lot of Game Boy games as it turns out. I'm looking now. They had a lot. They had Adventures of Mary Kate and Ashley one, Girls Night Out. Ugh, that sounds cool. Okay, this is the game. Yeah, Licensed to Drive. That's the game. They do all look the same. Like they all look like well, obviously two of them are twins, but their younger sister looks like she could be a triplet. Ashley Simpson's song Boyfriend, yes, shade towards Lindsay Lohan. Oh my gosh. Very, very nostalgic. I feel like teens on TikTok have figured out about all of these early 2000s things, and they're, like, nostalgic for them in the way that a lot of my age group was nostalgic for, like, the early '90s or '80s when we were growing up, and I honestly love to see it because there's all of this content out there that's reminding me of things that I miss from my childhood, like, sour Altoids. For those of you unfamiliar, they were little, like, sour my mouth's, like, literally watering right now that I said sour Altoids. They were, like, green apple or tangerine, and you would eat them, and they would literally, like, burn your mouth. They were so sour, and they were so good, and then they discontinued them because, I don't know, maybe they were dangerous, but I think they kind of just reworked the formula. My favorite Mary Kate and Ashley movie, New York Minute, I just thought they were so cool in that one. I like The Winning London. I liked Winning London because I wanted to go to London so bad. Passport to Paris is iconic as well, and I'll just name all of them. They're all good, but, I remember watching Our Lips Are Sealed with my dad and sister, like, we watched that, and I remember going to the theater to see New York Minute because I think that was the only one that was, like, actually released in theaters, is that right? Yeah, Lauren Conrad. Um, there was another one, but I cannot think of it now. I know, Kylie Jenner and Kendall Jenner wrote a book series together. I never read it, but I know that existed. The New York Minute, that was the last one. Yeah, I think that's correct. I don't think they did another one, but they did, like, everyone was, like, in a different location, and then they had all their different TV shows. They had now I can't think of them, So Little Time, that was one of them, and then they had, like, different series and stuff, like their mystery one or their sleepover one, or they were always, like, vaguely musical episodes. I always just loved them. So good. Scooby-Doo had chewy candy? I don't know if I like the like, gummy snacks? This is early 2000s, but did y'all watch Brandy and Mr. Whiskers? Um, I don't know. I don't think so because I can't recall what that is. My contacts are getting really dry, so if I'm blinking a lot, that's why. No, I don't think I watched that one. It was in 2004 to 2006. I just looked it up, but I'm not familiar with it. It was on Disney Channel, though. You know, that's before I watched Disney Channel, so, I must have missed that one. Amanda Bynes movies were also really great. That was a great era. Zoo Books? Yes. Yeah, and yes, I remember the Scooby-Doo gummy snacks. Zoo Books, I remember that. I remember, like, every time I think of Zoo Books or, like, any of these, like, not just that one, but, like, other book series and stuff I read at the time. I just, like, think of being in 1st grade and the school library. I remember it. I remember scholastic book fairs. Those were so iconic as well. I don't know if you all had those where you are located, but they were very fun and, the best day of the year, especially in, like, elementary school. Those were so fun. It was just like a catalog basically of books, and I don't remember exactly how it worked, but, like, they would set up in a room in your school, and then you could, like, take a catalog home, and your parents would help you order them, and I ordered, like, they had, like, these, like, clubs you could join for a year, like a subscription box, literally, and there was a sleepover one I wanted because, like, every month it would give you all this, like, fun girly stuff, but I ended up getting this one called Spy University, which taught you how to be a spy, because that's what I wanted to do when I was 9. So, your favorite Amanda Bynes movie? She's the man. Yeah, I what just, is it What a Girl Wants? The one with that one guy in it that's British. That was my favorite one. Is this um, I think this is it. A lot of Amanda Bynes movies are randomly based on something. Like, like this like What a Girl Wants is based on a play, and, like, She's the Man is based on what is it based on? It's based on Shakespeare or something, right? I think Amanda Bynes is doing okay now. I saw an interview with her where she, like, looked and sounded healthy, which was nice. I don't know when that was, but I always hope she's doing well. I really like her. No, not Colin Firth, the younger guy. I do like Colin Firth, though. The name Oliver, like, pops into my head. Ugh, what was his name? It was, like, that younger guy. Oliver James, that's his name. This man stole my heart when I was, like, a child. This man. This is who I'm talking about. That was in he was in What a Girl Wants, right? I just thought he was, like, so cool. You know what? I also had a massive crush on, like, David Archuleta, and I'm realizing they have, like, similar features, so a lot I'm realizing a lot about myself right now, so Oliver James, what's he up to now? Let's find out. Oh, he's a musician. We can support him. He's 40 now. Okay. I did have a type. My type changed a lot, but oh, he was in Raise Your Voice with Hilary Duff as well. That was it. Do you guys remember that movie? I was so big on that movie. 40. I feel old when I go on TikTok. And then, like, teens on there are like, "Oh, do you guys know that back in the day they used to wear, like, flared leggings? They're a new trend now." And I'm like, "Yoga pants? That's a new trend?" Like, I didn't know they went away. Like, I feel old all the time when I go on TikTok. I get nostalgia when I remember the Hills show. I remember my aunt would take me to the restaurants I'd go to. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. That's so cool. I would have loved that. I love the hills. I love all of that stuff. I remember when David lost to the other David on American Idol. Ugh, I was so mad. I don't even remember, but I remember, like, I got in trouble because I kept calling to vote for David Archuleta, like, for because you could vote for an hour, I think, after the show ended, and I just, like, sat there dialing over and over and over. I really liked him. He had a song called Crush. I don't know what he's up to now. I think he's on TikTok. Oh, the TikTok generation. I think every generation has, like, the same kind of, like, ugh, I don't know. Yeah, I am glad I do think Disney Channel shows were better for us, but I think everyone thinks stuff like that, but, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what's on Disney Channel right now. Do they have I just know they had that show that Jake Paul was on, and it wasn't good. Cartoons nowadays are really ugly. I don't know, they don't have the same quality to them, but I don't know exactly what that quality was. But, on the subject of The Hills, I really liked that whole genre of reality shows. Do you remember, what was the one with Kelly Cutrone? Do you remember her? She was like she was really intense. I liked her. Is The Hills the one that ended that was in the city, right? Is The Hills the one where it ended when, um oh my gosh, the Chihuahua Taco Bell commercials? It actually, like, never occurred to me that those stopped because I remember that branding so much, and then I realized, like, years later, I was like, "They don't do that anymore." But The Hills is the one that ended with, like, them walking off the set, right? Or the you know, like, it was a good ending, right? Hell on Earth, yes. Ugh, yeah, I bought her books at the time. I thought I thought she was so great. I still think she's great, but I wanted to, like, work in marketing because of her or whatever, PR, whatever it was. But I thought she was the coolest. Gosh, I love early, mid, late 2000s nostalgia. Even though every time I say 2000s, I don't feel like that's referencing the first 10 years. Saying 2000s makes me feel like I'm talking about all of them, but I don't know what else to call it. That finale, yeah, it was pretty iconic. It's still like a smart ending. Like it holds up to this day. Disney kind of lost me after Hannah Montana. Yeah, after Hannah Montana, like Wizards and those two shows ended, I just really stopped caring. Like I didn't know if that was just because I was getting older or if it was just not as good, but I don't even know what came next. Like I remember seeing ads for Shake It Up. Was that what it was called? Shake It Up? The Bella Thorne and Zendaya show. Um, I remember seeing ads for that, but I never watched it, and that was around the time I stopped watching. I watched a little bit of Sweet Life, but I don't know. I kind of stopped. NYC Prep. Oh my gosh, you're speaking my language. I love all of these things that you're mentioning. Um, I love NYC Prep. I like literally every so often I remember it exists and I go look up what they're doing because I desperately always want to know because I was so obsessed with that show. It was so ridiculous. It's so good though. I love bad reality TV so much, and NYC Prep is one of the best for sure. But I remember Camille got kicked out of her private school for being on the show apparently, and I remember reading about all of that. So I was very invested. Um, I remember there was like a couple other shows that were similar at the time, if I'm remembering correctly. But I love a good reality show that lasts for like one season. Those are always great. I also really liked Pretty Wild. It made me sad in retrospect to look back after like understanding what they were going. Yes. Like it makes me sad to like now that I know that Alexis and Tess were having a lot of drug issues at the time and a lot of other struggles as well. But I loved that show when it came out and I'm happy they're all doing a lot better now. Yeah, Camille wanted to go to Yale, and, I know where she went. She went to school, like, with somebody I know in Virginia, William and Mary, which is a really good school, like, don't get me wrong, it's just not Yale. I don't remember what anyone else is doing. I really don't. I think Sebastian got married. I think Jesse worked with like, actually worked in fashion, and PJ is PJ, was that his name? He's in the same friend group as, like, Tiffany Trump. It's very confusing. A Shot of Levitila Tequila, I love that one. Gosh, yeah, I love reality TV, and, like, the worse, the more I like it. Like, I Wanna Marry Harry. Do you guys watch that one? No, Alexis's podcast, I listen to it, and I follow her on social media. She seems to be doing a lot better, and her podcast in general, like, I haven't struggled with the same, I've never had a drug addiction before, but it is, like, really good content about just, like, getting, back in touch with yourself and, it's called Recovering from Reality. I think it's a good show about, like, mental health and wellness in general, but I'm happy for her. I always liked her, and I'm glad that she's doing well, but the Gossip Girl remake, you don't think it's needed, but you'll watch it. I probably will too, like, no matter, um no matter how bad it is, I'm probably gonna watch it because I loved Gossip Girl, and I just wish it was, like, an actual reboot with, like, the characters, but I understand, like, that probably wouldn't be that good. But I wanna know what Blair Waldorf's fashion sense in 2021 would be because when Gossip Girl was airing, I based so many fashion choices on Blair Waldorf, and now I don't know what to wear, so I would love it for Blair to come back on my television. Did Gossip Girl was that more of a US show? I never know which shows that, like, I grew up with made it across the, oh, you did watch, Gossip Girl, okay. But, like, I understand probably a lot of our reality TV didn't like, people in other countries, I don't know why they would watch that, most of it, but, yeah, I never know what pop culture goes, across I was gonna say across the pond, but, like, to other countries in general. Thoughts on the reveal of Gossip Girl makes sense and no sense. That's exactly it. If you only read a summary of Gossip Girl, the reveal makes complete sense. But if you watch every episode, it and remember all the details, it doesn't make sense. That's that's what I think. I liked Vanessa, but I can't remember, like, I always, like, sided with Blair because that's who I liked the most, but I wonder what it would be like to watch it now, like, with a totally different perspective than when it first aired. Um, Gossip Girl makes no sense. That's honestly, like, the most concise review of the show. Oh my gosh, Pretty Little Liars. I Before the show ever existed, I really liked the Pretty Little Liars book series. I loved him. And those didn't make sense either, like at all. So I kind of expected the show to not make sense, but it like really it was a lot. I didn't watch through to the end, but I watched Riverdale, so I'm not really here to judge anybody about anything. 'Cause Riverdale is not I don't know if you guys watch it. It's a lot. It's a lot. Um, I was so hyped about Pretty Little Liars in the beginning. Yeah, it was like, it was cool. I thought it was like do you guys remember the show, I think it was called Twisted? It was kind of there were a couple shows that were, like, airing around the time Pretty Little Liars was airing, that they were trying to, like, capitalize on the similar vibe, and there was one called The Lying Game and one called Twisted, and I really liked both of them. Yeah, the first 2, 3 seasons of Pretty Little Liars were pretty good. I stopped watching regularly after that, and I don't really know fully what happened. Maybe one day, like, I'll go back and watch it, but I don't know. I it was like in high school, I wasn't allowed to just watch TV whenever I wanted. I had like, okay, well, I've finished my homework and I got like an hour or two of television a day maximum. So I had to like carefully select my shows. So, but the guy from Victorious, yes, exactly. Um, yeah, I loved that show. And then it ended on a cliffhanger, or they never fully resolved it. I was like, oh, yeah, Blair's my favorite. I just everything about her. I know she's, like, problematic. I totally understand her flaws, but, like, she was always my favorite. I love her fashion sense. Lion Game and Twisted were both so good, and, like, and it sucks to leave without any answers. Like, I don't even know if we ever got a resolution, and they had a show called Hidden Palms. I don't know if you remember that one, but I only watched it because a girl from my high school was in it, and I just, like, was like, "I wanna be famous too. I wanna see what she's doing." So I wanted to watch it, and it was alright. It was a similar vibe to, like, the lying games and the twisteds of the world, but it was decent. Oh, the CW. Is it even called that anymore? I feel like it's not. Speaking of okay, so we're talking about Gossip Girl, and this is about Selena Gomez. So, do you guys remember the movie that Leighton Meester and, Selena Gomez were in together? Um, because what was it? Like, Monte Carlo? I saw that movie once, and I remember liking it, but I cannot remember the plot for the life of me. Have I seen the show Skins? I really liked the UK version, so I never was into the US version because I think that they just if they had, like, made it their own, I think it could have been more successful, but it's hard to watch a show where you already know the characters and, like, it just doesn't like, you already like the thing, and then they have so many similar named characters, um, but yeah, I don't know, I just it wasn't for me, I guess, but I also thought that there was a lot of talent in that show, more than people gave it credit for, and if it had been written and prepared a little bit differently, like if they had completely come up with new characters, I think I would have liked it a lot more. What was the one with the lookalike? It reminded me of the Hilary Duff movie with the lookalike. Um, the which lookalike movie? I'm like a Selena Gomez one. Do you remember Princess Protection Program? That was a great Selena Gomez film. Selena Gomez videography film. Oh, she was in a lot of movies. You know, her first movie was Spy Kids 3D Game Over, which I saw for my 11th birthday. That was my party. I wanted to see Spy Kids. She's in a lot more movies than I realized. Yeah, Monte Carlo. Is that the lookalike one? She has two credits, like two different people. She's Corey Monteith. Is that how you pronounce it? He's in this. Oh, and then there's also that recent series of movies, The Princess Switch, that Vanessa Hudgens is in. Monte Carlo, yeah. Selena Gomez films include Spring Breakers, which I've never seen, Ramona and Beezus, which I've never seen, Another Cinderella Story, which I've definitely seen. I loved, I love that movie. Um, Neighbors 2, Getaway. That sounds like I don't remember that movie. I haven't seen Spring Breakers. You snuck in to watch it. That's I I just never watched it. It came out when I was in college and I just never watched it. I remember seeing trailers and stuff for it, but like James Franco, I've just never like liked him that much, so I uh, uh, just didn't want to see it, I guess. Princess Switch movies are fun. I love a good Netflix Christmas movie that always involves royalty in some way, like The Christmas Prince. Those are iconic. Most of her television credits are like Disney Channel stuff. I'm trying to see if she was in something that like I forgot she produced 13 Reasons Why. Selena, like I really like that she did that. I don't know why, but it makes it feel like she really has I don't know. It just seems like a more sensible thing to do than like I don't know. It just seems makes her seem more relatable, even though it's her producing a Netflix show. It seems like that, and I really want to watch the rest of her cooking show because it's the clips I've seen are cute. Her songs for 13 Reasons are mad. Yeah, I I liked that book so much when it came out. Like I really like I read it, I was really into it. I wasn't that into the series. I don't know why. I liked the first season, but then as it kept going, I don't know. It didn't grip me. I remember my life is like do you remember Maid on MTV? I was so obsessed with Maid. My wildest dream when I was a preteen was I wanted to be made into a cheerleader on Maid. Like, that was all I ever wanted. Um, she was supposed to be the lead in 13 Reasons Why, and it was supposed to have Dylan O'Brien. The fact that it was supposed to have Dylan O'Brien makes me really understand, like, the casting of what's I don't remember his name. He's in a band. Dylan something? That that makes sense because 'cause they're, like, I don't know. I can see them, like, looking somewhat similar. Selena really tried to find her sound in the past few years. Yeah, I think I like that about her, honestly. I feel like I like that she doesn't like, she seems like she's just trying things out, which is, I guess, relatable. Yeah, I wanted to be made into, like, a singer or a cheerleader so bad. That was all I wanted. I just thought those were, like, the coolest things. Um, MTV, so great. True Life. Remember, Next? Remember, um, Room Raiders? Do you guys remember Room Raiders? That was quite the show. Those, like, weird Parental Control. That was also one I was really obsessed with. And looking back, scripted for the most part amongst all of these shows, but at the time I didn't know that. But Parental Control was where okay, so Parental Control was where this one girl who's or boy, like the kid of the parents in question would always be like, "Oh, I love my boyfriend," and the boyfriend would be like, "Fuck you," like he would be like totally like your stereotypical bad boyfriend, and then each of the parents would be like, "Oh, we hate our kids, boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever." And then they would audition all of these guys to go on a date with their child, and then they would send the child on a date with each of the men. They each had a pick. And then they would watch the dates with the child's original boyfriend. And then the child had to pick between the two people she went on a date with or her original partner. It was very scripted, but I thought it was so funny for some reason. Jersey Shore. Yeah, that is an iconic show as well. Next was when they put 5 guys or girls on a bus, and then they one by one got off, and then they like, one person would get off the bus, they go meet the person in question for the date, and then the person would go on a date with them and then just say next at some point, and then whenever they said next, the person who got out of the bus would go back on, and then the next person would come out, and then, like, whoever won the end of the date could either, like, take the money or go on a second date or I don't even remember, but it was like I remember people would get off the bus and walk up to the person would just be like, "Next," before the person even got up to them. You'd be like, "Ah, drama." But yeah, it was fake. The cheesy intros for the, love interest for other shows. Yeah, remember they would get off the bus and it would, like, freeze frame and have, like, 3 random fun facts about them. I always loved that. Like, from Portland, 22 years old, is scared of cheese or something, like, really random. It was so weird, I loved it. They should bring back that MTV. I don't even know what's on MTV anymore. I know everyone's like, "Oh, it used to be music television, it was so much better." I'm like, "Yeah, but Room Raiders was iconic." Room Raiders, I might be misremembering exactly, but, like, basically they would so Zac Efron was the main person on it, so we'll just talk about that example. So Zac Efron would be the guy, and then they would pick, like, 3 girls for him, and they would kidnap the girls randomly so they didn't have time to clean their room. They put the girls on in a van or on a bus or something, and then they would have a camera feed to watch Zac Efron or whoever the guy was snoop through their room, and, like, and then he made a decision of who to date based on whose room he liked the most. So that was a show as well. That was also iconic. It was so weird. Zac Efron was, like, actually on an episode, though, I'm not just saying that randomly. He I don't know why, but he was. I'm sure there's some other weird MTV shows that I'm forgetting, but those were the ones that I really watched. They were terrible. They were great. Missed out on a lot of MTV stuff. I'm always yeah, like, I'm interested because I know from family in other countries, my family is primarily in, like, India or England. I know that, like, MTV like, they have shows there that we don't have here, even though it's still on MTV, so I never know which countries does what. I love The Simple Life, and Pimp My Ride. I thought that show was so cool. I knew nothing about cars. I still don't care about cars at all, but I loved Pimp My Ride. I was like, I want a van with a hot tub on the back. That's so cool. So obsessed with it. I remember my mom was like, because I wanted to buy Cosmo Girl magazine at the store, and she was like, "Okay, I have to look at it first." And then, she was like, "What does pimp my ride mean?" And I was like, "It's just a car show." 'Cause she just knew the word pimp. She was like, "What is this magazine?" Yeah, I don't care about cars. My boyfriend really does. He watches a lot of, like, car renovation shows, and I'm like, "Yeah, but they're, like, normal. I want a hot tub on top of my car and, like, massive speakers." They had so many extras, I think that was all fake. I feel like most MTV shows were fake. Vanessa and Jack dating was iconic, and at the time, I didn't quite understand that sometimes co-stars dated for publicity, and I was, like, so sad when they broke up. Only the essentials for my car, like a hot tub and a great speaker system. I was just obsessed. My Sweet 16, yes, that was one I was so obsessed with. I wanted to have, like, a sweet 16 party, and my parents were like, "What?" 'Cause my family's from India, and it's not really part of the culture there as far as I know, at least, like, within our specific type of Indian, I guess. But they were like, "No, we are not doing that. That is ridiculous." Teen Vogue. Teen Vogue's still iconic, actually. 17, um, Tesla Latte. Honestly. I hate Elon Musk, but I'm also like, Teslas are nice, but I'm all about energy efficiency, so we'll see when I get a new car. Did I mention that I just bought Juicy Couture, like, sweatpants? Because this is a 20-year dream finally being realized. What is so special about 16? I don't know, because I think in, I don't I don't know if this is correct, but, like, is it Spanish culture or Mexican culture? Did I freeze for a second? Am I back? I don't know if it's, Spanish or Mexican culture, but, like, I know 15 is a big, uh I think it's Mexican culture. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I know 15 is a big age. I know in other cultures, like, 13 is a big age for people, but I don't know, like, there's always, like, that one age that you turn in various cultures where, like, that's when you become an adult. But I don't know, 16, I don't know. In America, it might just be because that's when you can drive. Is that I don't even remember being 16. Juicy Couture Perfume. It is amazing. I'm so obsessed with the bottles. Ugh, love Juicy. I'm really excited for my sweatpants. All I want like, the ones on their website right now are, sold out, but if they do another drop, I am buying a full tracksuit so fast. I've wanted one since I was 11. Okay, so that's not 20 years, but, like, a little under 20 years, I have wanted one. Um, for you for us, it's, like, 21 to drink alcohol, so I guess 16 is the age that's exciting before you turn 21. Because when you're 16, besides driving, I don't really know what else it is, but, like, I remember that's when you can get your driver's license and drive by yourself, I think. Because when you're 15, you can get a permit, which is when you can drive with somebody else in the car that has their license. I forget the exact rules. And when you're 16, at minimum, you can test for your license. I did fail my driver's license written portion like 7 times. because I never read it, the manual, and then I just finally read it and passed. Ugh. 18 isn't special at all. It's usually around the age where you like graduate high school and go off to college and move out. You can join the military, but I think usually there really isn't anything significant that happens on your 18th birthday. It's just usually around that time is when people move out and go to college, but yeah, not really for being 18 in general, as far as I can remember. What perfumes give me nostalgia? Hollister perfume, Victoria's Secret perfume, and Tommy Girl. Those are big ones. Um, I never really was into perfume when I was younger, but like juicy perfume in general was a big one. And I never got any of like Britney Spears perfumes, but I always wanted one. And Taylor Swift perfumes are pretty nostalgic as well. I need to get like now that I'm an adult, I have money, whatever. I need to I need to just get Britney's perfumes because these days they're also I don't know how expensive they used to be, but you can buy them at like CVS. Like they're not hard to track down usually. Like I wanna get the One Direction one, but I don't know. There's some perfumes that I like, but I can't even remember anything right now. Midnight Fantasy? Okay. Honestly, why not? Yeah, it's like 25 bucks. That's not bad. That's a cool package. Yeah, it's like $20 at Walmart. Yeah, I'm gonna get this. I got paid today. I've been doing really well in freelancing. So I think I should treat myself. Her fragrances are really sweet. That's good to know because like the perfumes that I like, the one I the two I use regularly are both Gucci perfumes. Um, they're what are they called? I don't even remember. Give it a try before buying. Okay. I like the One Direction one. I wanna get, like, a full bottle of it because I think the bottle's cute. I've just lately been so into, like, nostalgia. I know One Direction was a little after the early 2000s, but, I liked them as well. I have not listened to Zayn's new album. I never was that into his solo music, but I kind of wanna check it out again because I know I don't know what language, but hasn't he been like covering some Bollywood type music? And I just think that's cool. So I want to check out his music a little more. So I know he and his they're not married, right? They're just dating right now. But Gigi, I know their kid. They said her name, which is cute. Are we talking about Zayn's like first album, or did he put out another one? I'm so tired. I've had a long week. Um, oh, he put out 3 albums? I missed this. I only knew about the first one. I literally thought we were still on the first one. I'll check it out. Do you have you guys listened though? Like, what do you guys think? Like, if you've listened, what do y'all think? I did not know he put out an album in 2018. Oh no, this is such a sad Wikipedia page. It has a description of the album, and then the final standalone sentence just goes, "This album is generally regarded as a commercial failure." That's so sad to have that be like so prominently. Um, Lady Gaga Oreos? What? Did I read that right? Oh my gosh. Well, they're saying they're out of stock at Walmart. I thought, hmm, I always miss things because I think they're just memes people are making up on TikTok. I don't know that they're real. How did I miss this? They're out, that's too bad. Did you get to try them? Oh my gosh, why did I can't like, it looks like they're sold out, and I am sad. Do you guys like Chromatica? Like, I like it, but, like, did you what do you guys think about it now that we've had time to digest it? I still think it's good, but, I don't know. I want these dang Oreos. Now I'm just, like, fixated on them. You can buy them on eBay for $70 if you want them. That is offensive. Hmm. I don't want Oreos. I would pay that much for, like, sour Altoids because I like those, but, oh, Oreo. Do you think they'll bring him back? I think Chromatica I think it still sound like, it doesn't sound, it still sounds fresh. I agree with you, is what I'm trying to say. She had a perfume. I remember Katy Perry perfumes for, for some reason, I just remember those. Oh, I remember this. My friend, like, my best friend is really into Lady Gaga, so, like, a lot of Lady Gaga stuff I, like, vaguely remember or have seen before, but, like, I may not have it, but I heard Ariana Grande perfumes are pretty good too, but I haven't tried them myself. Yeah, when things go back post-COVID, fingers crossed that's gonna be soon now. Um, yeah, I didn't have tickets for her show. I don't know if they even fully went on sale. I don't remember, but I will get tickets and I will go. That's like I can't see myself being like, "Ah, whatever, it's just a concert again." Like I feel like anytime there's a concert I want to see, I'm gonna sacrifice all to go see it. I can't wait. I'm hoping for like end of this year, but like who knows? Hopefully we'll be able to, reverse some damage these coming weeks, but we'll see. I miss concerts, so as long as that gets addressed soon. I mean, there's other more important things, but not too confident about concert. See the thing about concerts, 2022 might be more realistic just because of like the traveling aspect. Because I feel like it's gonna take longer than it needs to, which is good. Don't get me wrong. I think that's good to be overly cautious, but I feel like unfortunately, I'm not saying it is exclusively a PR decision, but like honestly, the optics of being the concert that's a super spreader event is not good. So I think people want to wait. Like I think people like Taylor Swift would feel awful if their event led to people getting sick. Um, so like, because there's so many people in those big crowds, concerts should be the last thing to be allowed, to be honest. Because I don't even know how many people fit in those stadiums, but it's definitely like tens of thousands in some cases. So, yeah. And if it's not, and if it's a small, dingy venue, probably should be careful even more. Yeah, you're right. Like, definitely. Like, end of this year is kind of like what I hope, but yeah, I think you're right. I think it's best if we wait until 2022, if not like later in 2022. We'll see. Hopefully, people will start being able to get vaccinated. A lot of people I know have been able to do so, not me yet, but hopefully, we're all, you know. Oh, yeah, ticket prices will be higher. It is interesting. It is, in general, interesting to think about how industry changes, but how the music industry will change in regards to this situation. Because like online meet and greets. I probably have to go soon as well. I just realized it's been 70 minutes, which is these go by so fast. It was nice to see you. through here and see your username and chat with you. It was fun to reminisce about the early 2000s. So I do this for a while. I was doing it every Friday. Hopefully, I'll get back into that and do it most Fridays. So stop by. I do lives on TikTok. I'll see you around. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go as well. I have some other work to do and stuff, but let's plan on next week on the 29th if you want. What do you want to do? I haven't heard from Katie. I'll try messaging her again. I think she's been really busy, so I'll just send her a message and see if she has any. Um, at the very least, if she wants to do a stream for chemtrails, I forgot what it was called, but I'll see because I really want to do that. But yeah, so do you want to pick an album for next time or a something? I know we didn't even talk about it. Do you want to talk about like I don't want to be like let's talk about Selena again, but like maybe we can do something like Disney Channel. I don't know, like something that's more of a generic category, like Disney Channel Circle of Stars. Just kidding. I don't know what to do, but like we could do something that's a little bit more vague, maybe. I don't know. Do you have any ideas? We Oh, I'm so tired. We did talk about Miley's recent album. We could talk about her earlier stuff, Hannah Montana 2 slash Meet Miley Cyrus. I'm always down for that. We could do ones where we just talk about artists in general. Like we don't have to pick like a specific album. We could pick Miley next and continue the nostalgia. What if we do Miley's like early stuff? Disney Channel original movies is a good category as well. Okay, we have to make a decision for next week. Disney stars. Let's do Disney stars in general, and then we can narrow it down if we want to. Selena, Miley, Demi, like that includes so many people, so that'll be good. I'm excited. Okay, I gotta go, but I will talk to you, hopefully both of you next week, and anyone else who's yeah, we can just do Disney. So like that can involve people who are in Disney movies. That can involve like Selena, Miley, like it can be a little bit more vague, and hopefully everyone can like everyone will have something like one artist or one song or band or whatever that they like and want to talk about. So okay, so I'll see you guys next week. I hope you have a great week, and yeah, I post on TikTok and Instagram about vinyl. I've been doing that a lot more, so feel free to follow me there and message me. So, yeah, I'll see y'all. And yeah, it was nice to be in like a non-stressed mood. Okay, have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you next Friday, the 29th.